Do you know what it would take to sink one of the most powerful war machines ever built? A floating city of steel. A military fortress surrounded by some of the most advanced defenses on Earth. A United States aircraft carrier. These massive warships dominate the oceans and represent the core of American naval power. But a question often appears in military discussions and online debates. Could a smaller military like Iraq actually sink one? At first, the idea might sound impossible. But the reality of modern warfare is more complicated than many people think. To understand the answer, we must first understand what an aircraft carrier really is. A U.S. aircraft carrier is not just a ship. It is an entire military ecosystem. Most modern American carriers are nearly the length of 3 football fields. They can carry more than 70 aircraft, thousands of crew members, advanced radar systems, missile defenses, and command centers that coordinate entire military operations. In many ways, an aircraft carrier functions like a mobile military base that can move anywhere in the world, and it rarely travels alone. When a carrier enters a region, it usually leads what is known as a carrier strike group. This group includes guided missile destroyers, cruisers, submarines, supply ships, and aircraft constantly patrolling the skies. Each ship in the group has a specific role. Some detect incoming threats. Some destroy missiles. Some hunt enemy submarines. And others protect the carrier itself at all costs. The goal is simple: prevent anything from getting close enough to threaten the carrier. But history has shown that even the most powerful warships can be vulnerable. During World War II, aircraft carriers became the most important ships in naval warfare. Battles between fleets were often decided by aircraft launched from these massive vessels, but many carriers were also destroyed during the war. Japanese carriers were sunk during the Battle of Midway. American carriers were damaged in the Pacific. These events proved that even powerful ships could be destroyed under the right circumstances. However, modern carriers are far more advanced than those early vessels. Today's aircraft carriers are protected by multiple layers of defense. Long-range radar systems detect incoming threats hundreds of miles away. Fighter jets intercept enemy aircraft before they get close. Destroyers equipped with advanced missile systems track and destroy incoming missiles. Electronic warfare systems jam enemy targeting systems. And if something manages to slip through all of these defenses, close-range weapons are ready to fire thousands of rounds per minute to destroy threats in the final seconds before impact. This defensive network makes attacking a carrier extremely difficult, but not impossible. Some military strategists believe the biggest threat to carriers today is not traditional aircraft. It is missiles. Modern anti-ship missiles are fast, intelligent, and incredibly destructive. Some fly only a few meters above the ocean surface to avoid radar detection. Others travel at supersonic speeds, giving defenders very little time to react. Some even change direction during flight to confuse defensive systems. A single powerful anti-ship missile could cause serious damage if it struck a carrier, but sinking one would likely require multiple successful hits. That brings us back to Iraq. Historically, Iraq's naval capabilities have been limited compared to major world powers. Iraq has not maintained a large blue-water navy capable of projecting power across oceans. Most of its military strength has traditionally focused on land forces and regional defense. However, smaller countries can still threaten large ships using certain weapons. During conflicts in the Middle East, anti-ship missiles have occasionally been used against naval targets. In 1987, during the Iran-Iraq War, an Iraqi aircraft fired missiles that struck a U.S. Navy ship called the USS Stark. The ship was badly damaged and 37 American sailors lost their lives. The incident shocked the United States and demonstrated how dangerous anti-ship missiles could be. However, the USS Stark was a frigate, not an aircraft carrier. Carriers are significantly larger and much more heavily protected. 2. Sink a modern aircraft carrier. An attacker would likely need a coordinated and extremely complex attack. Multiple missiles launched simultaneously, possibly supported by submarines, aircraft, or drones. The goal would be to overwhelm the carrier's defenses by attacking from several directions at once. This strategy is known as saturation attack. If too many threats arrive at the same time, even advanced defense systems could struggle to stop them all. But organizing such an attack requires sophisticated technology, powerful intelligence systems, and precise coordination, capabilities usually possessed only by major military powers. Countries like the United States, China, and Russia invest heavily in these advanced systems. For smaller militaries, launching a successful carrier attack would be extremely difficult. Another important factor is distance. Aircraft carriers rarely operate close to hostile coastlines unless they have strong control over the surrounding air and sea. They often launch aircraft from hundreds of miles away. This means an enemy would need very long-range missiles or aircraft capable of reaching the carrier's position. Even then, they would face multiple layers of interception before reaching their target. Submarines are sometimes considered the greatest threat to aircraft carriers. A quiet submarine hiding underwater can be very difficult to detect. But carrier strike groups are also protected by advanced anti-submarine warfare systems. Special aircraft, helicopters, and sonar-equipped ships constantly search for underwater threats. Every layer of defense is designed to protect the carrier. So could Iraq realistically sink a U.S. aircraft carrier? Most military experts believe the answer is extremely unlikely. Not because carriers are invincible, but because destroying one would require a level of coordination, technology, and firepower far beyond what Iraq has historically possessed. However, the question still fascinates military analysts around the world, because the moment any aircraft carrier is successfully sunk in modern combat, it would change naval warfare forever. These ships represent enormous investments. Each carrier costs billions of dollars and carries thousands of sailors. Losing one would be a massive military and psychological event. For now, aircraft carriers remain the dominant symbols of naval power. They patrol oceans, support allies, and project military strength across the globe. But in the constantly evolving world of military technology, new threats are always emerging: hypersonic missiles, advanced drones, artificial intelligence-guided weapons. Each new development raises another question. Will the aircraft carriers of today remain unstoppable tomorrow? Or will future technology change the balance of power at sea? One thing is certain. The oceans remain one of the most important battlegrounds in global strategy, and the giant aircraft carriers sailing across them continue to represent both incredible strength and a powerful symbol of national power. But even the strongest fortress in the world will always face the same question: not whether it can be attacked, but whether anyone can break through its defenses.